Hello, everybody. It's Kate Richburg live from Tucson. It is Thursday, February 2nd, and I hope you can hear me. Let me know. A lot of you are on here watching, so give me a howdy, hello, if you can hear me. So sorry the other day about my audio issues that I had. Oh, great, you can hear me. Fantastic. The technology that I used isn't supported only using my iPhone, so I wasn't quite prepared. But today I'm going to update you on everything. Yes, happy Groundhog Day. So right now here in Tucson, Arizona, it is 9:52 a.m. on Thursday, February 2nd. Folks, I am still in my pajamas. I have not showered yet. I'm on my second cup of morning coffee. We're sleeping in a little bit today. We're getting everything reconnoitered, and I'm going to show you and give you the behind the scenes look. So here I am. We're in our really fantastic Airbnb here in Tucson. Let me show you how sunny and pretty it is outside. It's a little bright. There we go. We have a pool. We have a pool. Have we had time to be out there by the pool? No, we have not. So today we're hopeful, right?
Chilly.
It's a little chilly this morning right now. I also have, let me add my phone into the stream here. I'm going to show you what I've got. So I'm going to tell you today what it is that you need for a successful Tucson. I'm going to show you some stuff. Number one, first and foremost, Janice couldn't come. She had to take care of some stuff back in Virginia. So I was like, you know what? What do I do? Who do I take? What should I do? So I brought along my bestie. Now, a lot of you know that I used to have a bead store in San Francisco, right? So my San Francisco bead store was called Bellissimo, and I had an amazing partner in Bellissimo. Whoops, is my camera connected? And she's working as we speak. Can I get her? There, I've got you on camera, Christine. Let me see if I can. There we go. Why can't I get you? There, wait, there you are. There you are.
Hi, everyone.
Christine is working.
We found some beautiful stuff. You'll be super excited.
We will. She did. Beautiful stuff. So there she is, my friend Christine, working on her day job. I'm going to take this out. And she's working in her robe.
Only a bestie will go live in a robe.
That's right. As Christine says, only your best friend will go live in a robe to our viewers. Christine has been helping me stay organized. It's amazing. When we had Bellissimo in San Francisco, we did so much fun stuff. And if you search Bellissimo on YouTube, you will find an old video that Christine and I did about our store. It was really fun. So thank goodness for Christine. She is keeping me organized here. So, and once you know how to buy beads for a store, you always know how to buy beads for a store. So let me share with you some of the things. Walk you around. Our Airbnb, we love it so much. They even have these beautiful mugs. They're Le Creuset mugs. It's such a beautiful. Look at the art behind me. It's so beautiful. Such a well-appointed, beautifully kept space. So before I walk you around and show you some of the things, and I'm going to share some other things with you. Oh, Shelley, thank you. We loved Bellissimo too. Thank you. It was an amazing space. Diane, thank you that you missed Bellissimo. It was a fun store. But you know what? We're bringing a lot of that Bellissimo love right here to beadshop.com. So
it's like riding a bike.
It is. It's like riding a bike, as Christine says. And Bead Shop is where I got my start before Bellissimo was even a twinkle in my eye. So it's real fun to bring all of this experience back. And Christine just thought when she was out, I pulled her back in, but so she took a vacation week, but she's still working, of course. What a surprise. There's no surprise there. So let me share with you folks some, if you've been watching our social and if you opened the newsletter today, Drea shared some of my photos, right? So it's kind of like, when you go to your aunt's house and you have to be bored by their photos of their vacation. That's what I'm going to do for you right now. So let me tell you, one of the first and foremost things that you need for Tucson, where is it? Here we go. You need, did it show? Did it go in? Let me see. Oh, there it is. Whoops. Come back. Is a good pair of tennis shoes. So I got a good pair of tennis shoes because, friends, I am walking all over. We're counting our steps. It's crazy. So day one, when Christine and I rolled into town, we went in and let me see if I can get this. There we go. We jumped in, we had some drinks, and we met our buddy, Francesca Watson. And a lot of you folks know Francesca. Whoops, let me try that again. My connection's a little slow. We met Francesca and one of her studio assistants, Mary Lou. It was really great. We had dinner, we chatted business. It was so fun. So it was really, really great to see her. And that's really, one of the things that Tucson is all about is jumping in and, whoops, hang on a second here. Let me see if I can get this. There, connecting with your people. Whoops, come on. There we are. And just catching up. I mean, this is the first Tucson that I've been to since COVID, right? So it's really fun to see everyone. Then we shopped and shopped and shopped. So some of the fantastic people we saw, I'm going to jump in and see. There we go. I'm sorry, the connection is a little in and out. I know I don't have any earrings on. Isn't that funny? I'm still in my pajamas. I'm not kidding. I'm going to move over. I might be a little closer to the router. So let me grab this. I need my badge here. There we go. Got my phone. Let me take you mobile. There we go. Looks like the connection's okay. I know, no earrings. Still in my pajamas. I've got my slippers on too. Let's walk over here. Today is our kind of quieter day, right? And then I'm going to show you here. There we are. Okay. Oh, I didn't have earrings on last night? Was I on live? Was there a photo? I thought I had earrings on.
You wore them yesterday.
I wore them yesterday. I don't know. Who knows? Earrings come on. Yeah, they come on, they come off. Let me sit here. There we go. It's a little dark. It's a little mysterious here in our Airbnb. No, I'm gonna put it. Let me arrange some. It's a little bright right here. Let me arrange this, and then I'm going to show you some more pictures. Then we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. There we go. That's better. See, look, I'm in my pajamas. These are my pajamas. Let me turn. There we go. That's better. Right? That's not too bad anyway. It's kind of a nice ambiance look. Still having some coffee. And I think the signal's a little bit better over here. So let me show you some more photos. I've got my badge. You always get a badge. You need a badge. This is the one we went to, the GNLW show, right? So they give you this badge and you have to wear it all over. And now I have like 4 or 5 badges from all the shows we've been on. So one of the things for Tucson, don't forget, if you come, don't forget all of your credentials, all of your business cards. It's not a bad idea to put your address and stuff on stickers so you've got all that stuff, but you need that. So let me go back here to some of the friends that I saw because it was so great to see people. We were at the Holodome show. That's my buddy Jeff Kaplan from Craft Optics. I love my Craft Optics. I wear them all the time, and I had not seen him. It was so great to see you, Jeff. It was so great. So we stopped and had a quick catch up. It was so good to see them. Also at the Holodome, I saw my friend Ani from Jewel Tool. That Jewel Tool, as you know, I love it, especially those of you who watch me on my metalsmith in my metalsmith world. It's a great tool. You can go to jeweltool.com, learn all about it. And Ani is such an accomplished metalsmith. I just love her. I bought some new things for my Jewel Tool. So if you watch my Kate Richburg Jewelry Educator, my Kate Richburg YouTube channel, I'm going to be doing some more metalworking with that. Then I ran into another metalsmith extraordinaire, my buddy Lucy Walker from Jewelry Academy. She's based in Kuala Lumpur and made the trek to Tucson, and it was so amazing to meet her in person. Christine and I ran into our old buddy Jess Gaston from Jess Imports. You can find Jess still traveling all over the country, slinging her wares. But we've known Jessica for 30 years. But it was so, so great to run into her bead shopping. She's one of my bead besties. We also ran into another powerhouse in the bead world, a few of them. One of them was our buddy Jill Wiseman. Jill was shopping. I was shopping. We kind of matched there with the stripes and the polka dots. It was great to catch up and see her in real life. It was awesome. I also ran into Sam of Sam's Bead Shop. We had a lot of fun. We had never met each other in person before, but we were instant best friends. So that was great. We had a meetup with the Great Bead Extravaganza crew who was here. There's Neelay Patel and Cynthia Thornton of Green Girl, and there's Sarah in the back, Sarah Ayler from Softlex, Andrew Thornton, Allegory Gallery, and the immensely talented Azalea Ogden also from Green Girl, Cynthia's daughter and Andrew's niece. There's me at the bottom, sitting next to the incredible Candy Cooper, and then the wonderful Kristen Fagan, also from Softlex, and last but not least, the wonderful Kelly from Kelly's Bead Boutique. That was a fun night. So much fun that I left my credit card at the bar, but they held it for me and I got it. So it was fine. Beware of open tabs, everyone. Beware of open tabs. What else? Let me see. Oh, this was awesome. So we went to the Beadsmith group booth so I could see new things. And I ran into three of my favorite women of all time. Standing next to me on my left, that is Leslie Rogowski. She is an amazing bead artist on her own, but she's also a designer there for Beadsmith. Standing next to Leslie is the amazing Katie Hacker. You've seen Katie on Beads, Baubles, and Jewels, and I was so grateful to see her. And then on the other side of me is wonderful Tammy Hahnemann of Interweave, and she does wonderful content for Interweave. And we're super excited that perhaps we're going to be cooking something up. So that's great. It was so, so great to see them. So basically, Tucson, what you do is you hit the ground running. We did. And the first thing you pick up, let me tell you, more coffee, is you grab, let me get it here, the Tucson Show Guide. Okay. So this is the Tucson Show Guide right here. And every year, this is a little thinner. Let me take this off than it has been in years past, but that it's even still a thing is amazing. So the Tucson Show Guide has a guide to every single show. Now the Tucson shows, it's not just one show, it's about 40 shows all over Tucson, right? Different dates, different times, different stuff, right? But this has a listing of every single vendor that's here, every single venue, right? It has all of where everything is. See, like here's the map and the listing. There's just everything. And so I'm going to tell you a secret. This is the first thing I pick up at the show. So it's like my Bible for the year, for the upcoming year. I grabbed an extra one. And I'm not giving it away today. But if you watch my show next Free Tip Friday, not Wednesday's show, but next Free Tip Friday, which is, let me see what that date is. That's going to be on the 10th of February. I'm going to do a giveaway. And I'm going to give away one of the Tucson show guides to one lucky winner. I'm going to mail it to you. I have one. So watch that show because I'm going to give it away live. You have to be watching live on the show. This is a great question, Judy. Let me show that question. Is the show only for business owners or is it open to the public? So let me tell you. So some shows are open to the public. So you go down the 10 in Tucson, right? You're driving in. 10 is that main thoroughfare. There's a lot of little shows there in like little motels, hotels. There's probably a guy selling geodes out of his trunk, right? There's all kinds of crazy. That show and the show that used to be called Electric Park, which is now I think called the Keno Show. That's the one where like all the rockhound dudes are, the giant slabs of rough stone and geodes, all that business. That's out there. A lot of those are open to the public. Okay. Some of the shows have varying degrees of access. So shows like GNLW and the Holodome and some of those. What you need is your resale license, which I have in my little folder. You can pre-register a lot of times for those shows. So you just go in, get your badge. But you need a resale, right? You need to prove that you are in the industry with those. Some other shows like the AGTA, the GJX shows, the higher end shows, you go in and you have to bring not only your resale, but you have to bring receipts to prove that you've sold X number of dollars for your business, that it is a jewelry business, because those shows are super high end. Those have like the diamond sellers that come from all over and people that debut new cuts of stones and stuff like that. So those are super high end. So it's like a big wave of shows that you can get into if you just drive up and go in, or shows where you see the guy walking in who has the suitcase handcuffed to his hand because there's millions of dollars of stones in that suitcase. So it's crazy. It runs the gamut. Also, a lot of the wholesalers that we as bead stores buy from sometimes have special events. So we went to the Mojo event that had Beadalon and our buddies from Tierra Cast and all those people. And you go and you see everybody, right? And you chat and you look at the new product lines. It's really fun. And so I have this bag from them. I am also going to give this bag away next Friday. So you need to watch that Free Tip Friday. One lucky winner is going to win a show guide. And the other lucky winner, you guys, there's some really cool stuff in here. But I know it all, so I'm gonna give it away. There's a cute little packet of new beads and tulip beading needles and 1G. I've never even used 1G. I'm giving it away. I actually have some 1G coming. There's some little pearl earring kit in there. A really pretty, it's called Sunset Gardens from Jesse James Beads. There's a stamp from Impress Art, right? So this will go to one winner. I'm going to put this in here. This will go to another winner. Okay, that'll be next Friday. We'll announce it in the newsletter too, so you don't forget. Okay. I also found at that show, I saw my friends over at Impress Art, and I saw one of their new little tools. new little products. It's a tiny tumbler that has a super small footprint. So if you do some metalworking and you don't want like I have a giant tumbler, and actually Impress Art, bless them, they're sending me a giant new tumbler. I'm so excited to get it. But this is a tiny one for those of you who have really small spaces to work with. I love it. It's going to be coming out, and I think we may carry it because I need to do some more metalworking, right? We need to, I want to teach you how to make ear wires and work harden them in the tumbler, all of that. Terry, yeah, we'll work harden. Terry, I'm going to put it through their paces. They have really cool stainless steel shot that they're selling with it. So yes, you can. So I'm gonna. It was one of my favorite things that I've seen here. Judy, that's a great question. You can find all of my metalsmithing Facebook, though. You know, eventually they're going to come all under the Bead Shop umbrella, but you can find. Let me put up my Kate Richburg stuff just so you can find it. Okay, you can find all of my metalworking stuff. There's my bead Kate Richburg YouTube channel. I have a couple of groups and a page over on Facebook, and there are my websites. So take a screenshot of that. I'll leave it up for another moment. And then, of course, let me put up our bead shop one here. You know that I broadcast every Wednesday and Friday, and sometimes randomly on a Thursday from Tucson. Right, so you can follow us at Bead Shop on Instagram at the Bead Table, and of course, hit that like, subscribe at beadshop.com on our YouTube. We are so close to getting 100,000 followers on there, and when we do, a whole world of opportunity is going to open up. So please go subscribe. More coffee. Let me also tell you. Let me get back to these comments here. Let me see here. There we go. Okay, there's a couple of the questions that I'm gonna answer. I also, let's see, beads, that, the tumbler. There's another question here. Deanna's saying, is the show at the casino open to the public? It is. You can actually register as a retail buyer or a wholesale buyer. That's the Colors of the Stone show. That one is open to the public, but you still have to register. At most of these shows, you do need to register. They want you on their mailing list, whatever, right? So yeah, you do. It's those like random shows that are like out on the 10 that are kind of like the Wild West. You know what I mean? So it just runs the gamut. Now, Christine and I have been here since, let's see, today's Thursday. We got here on Monday. The only shows, we've only done 2 shows. The Gem Mall and the Holodome, it took us 2 full days. It's crazy. And then we went to the Mojo show to see some of our wholesalers. That one is not open to the public, and you have to have an appointment. You have to be invited. You cannot get into that show. But that was a fun one. Today, we're going to go out to Electric Park where all the rock hounds and stuff are, because I need to see some stones and maybe some, I don't know, tools, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to put on my metalsmithing hat today. But to prepare for a show like this, right, if you're going to Tucson, let me show you. Let me add my camera in here. Okay, here's the rest of our Airbnb here. Let me do this screen layout if I can. Let me see. There we go. And let me switch this. So one of the things that you need, turning my phone on makes my internet drop out. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to remove it, and I'm just going to do this with my laptop. Is it coming? Is it coming through okay? Am I coming through still? I think so. Maybe I won't do my phone, and I'm just gonna do my laptop here. And there's a couple of questions that I'll get to. Let me turn my thing. So see right over there. Let me walk you over. Here you go. I'm still in my pajamas. Still in my pajamas, folks. This I haven't even showered. Look at my bed hair. Perfect. So one of the things that you need when you go to a show, I'm going to show you this right here. There it is. Can I get it in the shot? You need, this is our sanitation station. There's our hand sanitizer, our emergency, our 3D masks, our KN95, our Clorox wipes. We've got it all, right? You need to really, if you're going to these shows, even like pre-COVID times, right? You got to have hand wipes. Thank you, Emily Miller, for passing out hand wipes yesterday while we were shopping like crazy. You need a mask. We're masking a lot of the time. Sometimes we're not, if it's like we're outside or whatever. But sometimes in those shows, you're like, ooh, where's my mask? Um, Make sure we've been taking a big dose of emergency every morning, right? Those good shoes, saline solution for your nose. It is dry out here, right? So bring those things because you think, oh, I'm going to get to Tucson. I'm going to go shopping, whatever. We drove. Okay, so I was able to bring all this stuff. But if you fly, first thing you might want to do, go to the drugstore, make sure you've got all of this. Oh, that's so funny. Angela, did Candy tell you? Yeah, so I brought party favors to our Great Beat Extravaganza meetup, and the party favors were emergency. So I'm glad. Emergency and lip balm. I also gave to everybody. Lip balm and emergency. It was funny. So yeah. I like to bring party favors. So let me show you this. So behind me here, if you look at this room, let me get over here. You can see all of the stuff. Why can't I? There we go. See those boxes on the floor right there? Those boxes, these right here, right there. Those are 4 boxes of pearls. Let me show you that one more time. Those are 4, they're so heavy. 4 boxes of pearls.
We have to carry those together.
I know, yeah. Christine's saying we had to carry those pearls together to get them in the house. These are going to be going up this year on Beach Up this year, right? So many pearls. Those of you who bought my Desert Dreams boxes, look at behind me on the table. The Desert Dreams boxes in the cool and the warm. Oh, folks, I am so happy with them. This right here is a whole new line in those. Look at, there's the Desert Dreams boxes. You can really see. See those bags right there? That is full of a new wood line that we're launching. I've been looking for wood for forever. Just look at this. Look at this strand of wood rondelles. I love them so much. I love them. What else do I have? Oh, I have in, can I show you? It's kind of unwieldy to do this with my laptop, but I just can't get my phone to see. Look, there's some new stone over there, and behind the suitcases, because you need a rolly bag. Behind the suitcases, right there on the floor, those are some new mixes that I'm going to be doing. They're really, but you're going to love these. Again, for the year. I have also in those bags right behind me, there we go. See those bags with the handle? I have some silver, like real silver, as in sterling. Remember back in the days, like in the 90s, when you made jewelry and the silver beads were incredible, heavy, right? They weren't thinned out for pricing purposes, right? Now all the silver beads are kind of, not all of them, but they're not like they used to be in the old days when I used to buy silver. We used to buy silver by the kilo, right? Because it was cheap. It was so inexpensive and so beautiful. Now they're just the vendors, you would walk down the aisles and you'd see all the vendors. They had silver, silver, silver. No one has it anymore, except one of the vendors who we used to buy from back in the late 90s, early 2000s was there. And I made some really beautiful choices. They're not going to be cheap, folks, but they are going to be sterling, real sterling, not like this random stuff. They're all, yeah, it's silver and half of it's zinc and some of it's, you better test it for lead content because it might have lead in it. No, sterling, beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited. I've got a couple more bags right here. There's the boxes, but next to the bags, you can see those right there. I have some new, uh, really cool pendants and stuff that are coming. I've got some cloisonne that's coming. So my goal this year, you know, when you do a show, and a lot of you folks are saying, well, I'd love to do the show or I'd love to come do the show and stuff like that. It's overwhelming. It is, honestly. It's overwhelming. So if you come, and someday maybe I'll do a tour. It would be really fun. I've wanted to do that.
Book your room way in advance.
Oh yeah, thank you. Christine's like, let me give you this piece of advice. It's true. And some of you are saying, oh, you love the place that we've got. We have a wonderful Airbnb. It's beautifully appointed. The art, can you see? There's art all over it. It's beautiful. Mid-century modern furniture. It's gorgeous. Book your room early, okay? We have friends that are, their room's not so good. I had one friend whose room, what's that?
Some people didn't come.
Yeah. Some people didn't come because they couldn't find a room. Even if you're thinking about coming, folks, book your room now for next year. Look at the refund policy. If you can cancel it, then book it, right? We're going to rebook this Airbnb for next year because it's perfect. The place is perfect. A lot of times when I come to Tucson and I don't book early, I am like 30 minutes out of town. And let me tell you, the driving is, it's exhausting, right? It really is. So it's a lot, right? So book early. Also with flights. So Tucson, I drove. I drove from Fresno. I drove down to San Diego. I picked up my bestie Christine, and then we drove from San Diego to here. So I did 2 5.5 hour driving days, right? Which isn't bad. It was fine. I listened to podcasts. I thought about things. I, drove, had car snacks. It was all fun. But secure your travel, right? Because traveling, especially to Tucson, can be sometimes challenging because, especially with flights now and stuff, some flights people had were canceled because Texas is going through an ice storm. Jill had to stay 2 more days because she couldn't get out. Oh darn, she had to, stay. But again, securing lodging for those 2 days, it's like, the booking and lodging is so tight. You don't know if you're going to have a place to stay. So you could either fly into Tucson or you can fly into Phoenix. Some years I fly into Phoenix and it's a 2 hour drive from Phoenix to Tucson. It's a larger airport, so they have more cars to rent. They have more flights into Tucson. And the drive from Phoenix to Tucson, it's easy. It's a straight shot, 2 hours, maybe a little less, depends. Straight shot, pretty easy. So you may want to think about flying into Phoenix instead and driving into Tucson. The Tucson airport isn't big. It's kind of small. Not super small, But like the choice of cars and stuff. So if you're coming, secure all that stuff beforehand because it's not really a last minute thing. Okay. Um, what else did I want to tell you? So that's about travel. Okay. Also, I have some rolly suitcases here. I have two of them, the small ones, two small carry-on ones. Don't fool yourself by thinking, oh, I'm going to get a backpack and I'm going to put all my stuff in the backpack. No, it's a bad idea. The first day I'm all, oh, I've got my shoulder bag. Christine went back to the car and dropped it in the car because I'm like, yeah, I haven't shopped a show in a while. It was a rookie move. But we've got our rolly bags so you can pack everything in there. The other thing, if you're shopping a show and you're shopping for quantity, let's say, right? What we did the first day is we walked the show and we didn't buy anything. We talked to vendors, we took cards. Christine actually put all the cards in a little book, wrote out what we needed. And then at the end, towards the end of that day and yesterday, we went back and we did our buying. So we didn't do a lot of like, you know how it is. Remember the old days when like you used to go into a bead store and like you almost couldn't breathe? You were so excited, right? That's what it's like at these shows. You see all the, the pearls laid out and you see turquoise and I don't know, shiny stones and oh God, it's good times. So don't get overwhelmed. It's easy for me to say, hard for me to do. But we walked the shows. So we walked. We walked, we walked, we walked. We took the cards, we made notes, we figured, and then we made our buying assault. Much better choices, much better. I don't know, it just felt a lot better, right? Because we were targeted. I knew what I wanted to target on. And then I could kind of compare and contrast, like even with these desert boxes. Um, I looked first and I had my photos that I was going to palette from. And I made really sound choices. And also, price is a factor.
And
Christine's
you have a
telling me,
budget.
and you have a budget. Christine's putting to me from her computer as she's inputting things. Have a budget. We have a budget. Janice and I talked about our budget, what we were going to sell, what we were going to spend. And I'm sticking to it. Sometimes I'm all budget schmudget, right? But budget is important because it's easy to get carried away. And then you're like, oh my God, what did I do? So we've done really well. We've stayed within our budget. We've really targeted. One of the things that I wanted to look for, I wanted this Tucson to be like Tucson's of years past. I looked for quality, right? I'm not buying like inexpensive random crap. I'm buying quality stuff at pretty good prices, but I'm not just throwing it out there and buying whatever it is catches my eye. I'm really targeted about what I want. As I say, I bought 4 big boxes of pearls, but those pearls are going to last us, well, hopefully for the year, but they probably won't. But there's some really good stuff in there. The silver, you're going to love it. Silver like you haven't seen in years. I'm so happy with it. Mixes. I know you folks love mixes. I love mixes. I found the right thing for mixes, so we're going to do a few mixes with the age check seed beads. Wood. I've been looking for a good wood vendor. We used to have one. She was great. She was from the Philippines. And she's not really in business anymore. We found a wood vendor. And I'll tell you, I was so tired. It was the end of the day before yesterday. And I'm like to Christine, I'm all, dude, let's just come back. She goes, we're not coming back. And I was like, oh, okay. So I geared up, I got some water, and we dove in. We palleted, I lay out the stuff, I look at it, I look at the colors. And then we left the stuff at the booth. He wrote everything up, and we circled back around. That's another one of the things that you want to do, right? So as you start to buy, if you're buying in quantity, start at one booth, get your stuff, put a card in it, give it to whoever is writing up and say, I'm going to be back in an hour or whatever. Don't waste your time waiting for people to write up your order if it's a bigger order. Keep moving because then you can buy, 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 and then you can go through and pick up, pick up, pick up, pick up. right? And at the end of the day, we had our Pearl guy. He helped us out to the car. So that was the last pickup we did because we knew that was going to be the big one. So have a strategy and don't be afraid that you're missing something, right? As I say, we've done 3 shows. We did the Mojo show, we did Gem Mall, and we did out on at the casino, right? So we did all those. And you have to let go of the fear that you're going to miss something, right? I know I'm missing something, right? We didn't even do the other tent. We only did one tent at Gem Mall. We did Fiesta tent. We didn't do the Cactus tent. We walked through kind of quickly, but that was it. So, yeah, have a plan. I'm pretty stoked about what we did with our plan. Um, the other thing, so let me tell you, Trish is asking, a necessary evil that has nothing to do with beads. Tell us about the food. Food's great here. Christine,
Reservation.
Christine's all turning around. Look at it. This is why she's been my best friend, like for
What do you want me to say?
since we were 15.
Oh.
They can't really hear you, but they see. Look, she's over there. She's working. She
And I'm
turned
yelling
around.
out reservation.
Yeah, and she just yelled out reservations. It's really true. Everything gets packed here at in Tucson,
Once
right?
the show ends.
Because when the shows end at 6 o'clock, everyone jumps in.
Tired, exhausted, and hungry.
Yeah, everyone's tired, exhausted, really,
And hungry.
and starving.
We went
Right.
today and we forgot to have lunch.
Yeah, yesterday we forgot to have
Yeah,
lunch?
Tuesday.
Tuesday we were shopping so much we forgot to have lunch. And if you know me, you know that's just nuts because I like to eat. So reservations, go through, take a
As
look,
best we can. We got DoorDash.
get some reservations. We DoorDashed. We did. We had some really good Thai food. DoorDashed it. Last night we DoorDashed pizza. It was a good pizza, and we also had salad. So, and the hottest wings we've ever had in our lives. We did a little bit of shopping, so we've got some supplies here, so we can eat breakfast here. Um, One of my favorite places, and it closed early. It was a rookie move. It's Zamam's, the Ethiopian food place that's here. We're going to try and get to it. They actually close at 8, so I didn't plan that out very well. So we'll try and go to Zamam's. Augustine Kitchen, it's over uh, near the African Village. Augustine Kitchen is amazing. Tucson has just really great food. So you can find all kinds of good stuff there. Even at the show at the Gem Mall, they have all of these like food tents, food people. We had Filipino food yesterday. It was delicious. Yes, El Charro. Thank you, Mira. I was trying to remember the kind of fun Mexican restaurant. El Charro is great. We also went to Guadalajara. We went the night before last. I had a tamarind margarita. It was excellent. It was good. So but getting food is always a challenge, especially if it's right after a show. So figure out where you want to go. And if they take reservations, make a reservation. If they don't, get there before 6 because that's when the shows end. I would say eat early at 5 or eat late at like 9, right? Um, right at 6 is that sweet spot. Everyone's coming. Um, the Jogs also has food trucks. We're not going to get out to Jogs this year. We're just not going to. Jogs has stone dealers. They have turquoise dealers. They have a lot of finished ready-made jewelry there. Lots of amber. Christine and I used to shop Jogs for our store. We'd get all of our amber there. Jogs isn't going to get it for us. We're going to go out to the African Village where all of the African traders are. I want to see some of the new beads. I almost bought a strand of beads for $450 yesterday to add to my collection. Then I thought better of it, but you never know. So we're also going to get out to, I said the Electric Park show. It's called the Kino show now, I think. That's where all the rock hounds are. There's tools. There's a lot of cool, like, if you want to see an old dude wearing like a bolo tie that has a slab of agate on it, that's where you go, right? You talk to the old stone guys. It was cool. So that's where we're going to go today. Um, I also want to try and get out to the Pueblo show, the 22nd Street show. We'll see a lot, again, more rock hounds, more stuff. Gem Mall is the place for beads. It's a great place to go shopping if you're like, you don't know where to go first. Um, then you want to go to Gem Mall. That's where I'd start. And then kind of fan out from there. My buddy Cynthia and my buddy Andrew from Allegory Gallery and Cynthia from Green Girl Studios, they were at the kind of boutique whole bead show that was there at that Ava did. It was a small little boutique show, kind of a fun one. It was short. It was just kind of a short little thing. That was fun. And of course, the Colors of the Stone out at the casino. That's a big one. And there a lot of the if you're wholesale and you have a bead store, a lot of the kind of the wholesale vendors are out there too, kind of tucked away that you can make appointments with, or we can. Not everyone can to look at. Yeah, 22nd Street is a fun one. I don't get there every year. But they're cool for like there's a turquoise guy out there. 22nd Street also Bill Fretz and his hammers, Melissa Muir with Metalsmith, she's out there with him. So yeah, it's fun. One of the other things I did, let me tell you, I mean, I've been on here for almost an hour, but you guys are still watching, so I'll still tell you. This is awesome. Mary Ann says, my 11-year-old granddaughter is so sweet. I was telling her how much I'd like to go to the Tucson show, and she said, I'm going to tell my mom and dad so you can go. That's awesome. What I would do, folks, if you're planning a trip, plan it with a friend. Coming here and being on your own can be super overwhelming and you don't know where to go or whatever. You can always reach out to me, Kate at beadshop.com or Kate at katerichberg.com. They both work. If you have questions, I'll be glad to give you some guidance. But it's fun. You just have to jump in and don't be afraid that you're missing anything because you're going to be missing someone, right? You definitely need good walking shoes. That's why I got those new Brooks tennis shoes, right? And I've been training. I've been walking every day for the past 6 months. And I have not taken one leave yet. So you're going to walk. You're going to get your steps in. So start walking now. Train for your walking for Tucson. Let me show you some more. This was one of my favorite things that I did. A couple of things. I went to the Pepe Tools booth, saw my buddy Chris Anderson was there. That's his new titanium prototype saw. I looked at tools. It was really fun. Pepe, my favorite rolling mill is from Pepe. It's really fun. I also tried a welder, a Sunstone welding machine, which was cool. I know beaters. I know you don't need a welder, but some of my metalsmiths, you might want a welder. It was cool. We'll see. I don't know. I need my hands on it a little bit more. I also went out to my buddy Kevin Potter at Potter USA. And those of you who know my love of my hydraulic press, go and join the Potter USA Facebook group. What Kevin does is he takes old hubs and he makes dies out of them, and you can use them to die press jewelry. And a lot of these hubs come from Providence, Rhode Island, where that was the center of jewelry making. A lot of them come from Paris, overseas. Old hubs. These date from the late 1800s to the early 1900s. It's so amazing to see. I'm going to put him back up one more time. There he is. We went last night. Emily went with me, Emily and her sisters. It was so great. We saw some of the things. Kevin also pressed. I've had a hub that I've been carrying around. Oh, whoops. Those are new. Those are some of my new beads. I clicked on that one. This is one of the hubs that Kevin has from the New York World's Fair in 1939. That's how they made some of their badges or pins or whatever. So that's the original hub that was carved from 39. It was pretty amazing. So what he did, I'm going to keep that photo up there. Let me go grab what he made for me. I am super excited about it. So hang on. Let me go get it. I can still talk to you. And then I know there's a couple of more questions. I'm going to go back through the questions. But I've had this hub. I bought it a while back on like eBay or Etsy, or I think I bought it on eBay. And what these hubs are, I know your beaters are like, show me beads, but metalsmiths, listen up. The hubs were pieces of metal that would be carved. Let me get back to, oh, well, there's Emily and Danielle Wicks. I was going to show that a little bit later. Sorry. Let me see. So this one, it's hard for you guys to see, but this is an old badge. It says member. Now, there was an American jewelry supply that was called McLilly. I think it's McLilly. I have to look it up. But he made this hub dates from, I'm going to say it's probably from about 1880, this metal hub. And someone carved it, a carver, right, who worked for them. And so this one says member. So, right, if you were like maybe a member of the press, or if you were a member of like a club in the Gilded Age, whatever, right? They'd have these badges and stuff like that, right? So I saw this one. I love these old badges. So I saw this one. I think it was on eBay. I bid on it and I got it because no one wanted it, I guess. So I've been hanging on to it. And I thought the next time if COVID ever ends and I ever get to Tucson again, I'm going to have Kevin strike it for me. So what he did was, let me go back to Kevin here. Let me see if I can get that photo. I think he's standing. What he did was, and see behind him on the wall, those are all hubs that he has. He has a collection. He must have the world's biggest collection of these vintage hubs. He has them from all over. They're just so incredible. So what he does, he also has he has incredible things. I can't, some things I can't talk about, but they're incredible. So what he did was he took this hub over to the tester, so he would test it for hardness, because he was going to sink this hub for me, which I can't show you because that's what that's kind of proprietary. He uses all old machinery. That machine that's behind him, let me show you one more time. That machine, it's not especially new. He has some machines that date from the late 1800s. The drop hammer I have a little video of him doing the drop hammer to strike the die. That one's from like the 1880s. It's a beautiful piece of machinery, so incredible. So he sunk that hub for me. So now I have a die. And so that die, he struck the die into this piece of steel for me using, I don't know, probably a 50,000 pound machine to do it. So he put this on the piece of steel, sunk this. So that's why they have to do a hardness test, right? Because they need to make sure it's hard enough so that that this die won't blow up, right? And so this one, since it was flat, it didn't get the member, the lettering in there. But I do have a nice die that just has that flat plaque in the center. So he sunk it for me one more time, and he sunk it on a hub that was curved. So when he put it in to sink it, the dome got the relief of the thing. So you can see how it says member in there. So now I'm going to use these dies, these dies now. This is the hub. This is the master. The hub sunk into the die, and so now I have it reversed. And now I can sink metal into this and make my own badges that say member. So I don't know. Maybe I'll make a little club with you guys and me. I don't know. But these vintage hubs, they're so, so, so cool. So I got this. And so the result is you can put like sterling in there or copper or whatever, and you sink it. I sink it in my hydraulic press. It's pretty cool. So if you go over to Potter USA, you go to the Potter USA YouTube channel, you'll see Kevin use that stuff. But it's a super, really cool way to make jewelry as they did, pardon me, as they did in the old days. It was pretty cool. So there was a couple of questions back here. Let me look and see. I'm just scrolling back. Oh, John had a question, and it was a good question. Is the show mostly beading or mostly metal work? So the shows are basically a little bit of everything, and different shows um, specialize, I guess, in different things. So there's a show, the Society of North American Goldsmiths, SNAG. They are here for the first time this year in Tucson. They're actually having a kind of a makers show, and some tool vendors and stuff are going to be there. It's a really short show. It starts Friday night and runs Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to try and get there Saturday morning before we roll out. But that's a whole new thing. Rio Grande used to do a show here where you would see all the brand new shows, the Catalog in Motion show. That's not done anymore. It was cool because you got to see all the new ones. But like Bill Fretz, he's out at the 22nd Street show. There's some tool makers out there. Pepe Tools, our buddy at Pepe, David, and he has some of the tool makers. Chris Sanderson is out there. Danny Wade is out there in his booth. That's at the Colors of the Stone. So usually if you follow a tool company or a tool maker, they'll let you know where they are if they're out in Tucson. Some of the venues have classes. The Vivian Magoo in the desert, they do classes. My buddy Eva Sherman, she was out there teaching metalsmithing. It was fun. Yeah, Ani with Jewel Tool. Ani is there at the Holodome, actually, this year. And it's great. I got to see all the new stuff. I bought way too many new accessories for my Jewel Tool. It was cool. So yeah, they're kind of all over. So getting the Tucson show guide, going to, there's like the website you can kind of go on. If you Google like Tucson Gem Show, there's kind of a listing of where people are. But you kind of have to talk to your people and see where they're going to be, because some people kind of jump shows, move around in shows, stuff like that. So it's kind of fluid. So yeah, tomorrow night, Friday night, I think it is. My buddy Carrie Story from Clave Revolution, she's having a get together, so a lot of the metalsmiths are going to be there. That'll be fun. I'll see some more of my metalsmiths. Last night there was a big metalsmithing mixer. I stayed home and had pizza with Christine. I was too tired after Kevin Potter and seeing that World's Fair hub and getting these pressed. It was just too much for me. It was so good. There's stones. Yeah, my mom's asking precious and semi-precious stones. There's loose stones. You can buy loose stones. Gem Mall's a great place for that. 22nd Street has a lot of like the cabochon carvers and stuff like that. So, the Electric Park Keno, we're going to see some stone carvers there. So I think it's going to be, they're kind of all over. It's going to be fun. So do I have any final photos to show you? Let me make sure I showed you everything. You saw that great picture of Danielle Wicks with Emily. So behind Danielle and behind Emily, two new lines that we're bringing in. They're called 10-aught 2-cuts. They're like those old vintage, these are Czech seed beads. So they harken back to like the vintage seed bead days. And behind Danielle are the 13-aught Charlottes that we're bringing in. So we're going to have even more seed beads, and seed beads that are harder to find. So I hope you folks will love that. This is some of the horn and the wood, the shell I got. Look at that beautiful inlaid mother of pearl. Isn't it gorgeous? Let me see if there's anything else that I pulled up here to show you. I think that's it. I think that's it for the photos. So let me make sure I don't have any more questions. Oh, this is a good question. A show open to the public that has Southwest style charms. I'm not really sure. The shows that are open to the public, I say a really good one to go to is that it used to be called Electric Park. It's the Keno show out there. It's outside, it's inside, there's tents. That's a really good one for the you find like random stuff. You find like there's the guy out there who sells like the old mastodon bone beads and stuff like that. So that's the one that I would go to, hands down, right? There are a lot of components, Mira's saying, components finding wire, leather chain, all kinds of stuff like that. There is. You just never know what you're going to find in Tucson. We've been here since Monday and we're going to leave Saturday. I could probably use a couple more days because today, what I'm going to do after I get off the live with you is I'm going to start figuring out, I need to double check my budget, how much I've spent. I need to list all of this stuff so Drea and I can start forming a plan. And Janice knows, what's coming down the pike because this is going to be in the next 6 months, launches for the next 6 months. Okay. So you really have to organize, especially if you're a bead store owner like we are with beadshop.com. All of this stuff, you now have to start wrangling it, right? Because I bought it, but now we have to photograph it. We have to categorize it. I have to bring it back to my house and break it down and get it ready to go. I've got those Desert Dreams boxes that I need to start putting together and packing for you all. So, it's not for the faint of heart. So don't stress. Come to Tucson, enjoy, set yourself a budget, do a lap, look, talk prices, find a vendor that you mesh with, and be vendor loyal. The vendor that we brought our silver from, we haven't bought from him since the early 2000s, and he was so, so happy to see us and that we bought from him, and he gave us great prices, and this customer service was amazing. So, you know, really work on those vendor relationships. I like to be vendor loyal. Bring yourself a bunch of baggies. I've got big Ziploc baggies here, and I've got more Ziploc baggies here. I'm ready to price, right? I've got Sharpies. We've got calculators. We're ready. We do a lot of stuff here before it ever even leaves, right? And then I'm going to sort it, and it'll be ready to go. So, yeah, that's that. So I hope, folks, that I wanted to check in with you the other day, but it just didn't happen. So here I am, still in my pajamas, still with my coffee. I'm going to get some breakfast. It's 10:54 here. We've spent a good hour together, giving you some good tips. Don't forget, folks, next Friday for Free Tip Friday, tomorrow on our Free Tip Friday, we're going to do a rerun of it. So it's not going to be live, but you'll see it at the normal time at 10:30 a.m. Pacific. But remember, next Free Tip Friday, I'm going to give away two things. I'm going to give away a Tucson show guide, and I'm going to give away this goodie bag that I got at the Mojo show with all this fun stuff in it here. Drea will put it in the newsletter to remind you about that. And if you haven't done so already, folks, go over to beadshop.com. Let me get this. Bead shop. Where is it? Here it is. And sign up for the newsletter for all the latest. Drea does a great job with the newsletter and communicates with all of you. That way it's excellent. It tells you what's going on with us. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social, especially that YouTube channel. And I will be back live starting on Wednesday. We're going to do a wrap up of Emily's loom project. I brought my loom project. It's still sitting in the bag. I have not touched my project. No surprise. I always like a project with me, but I knew I wasn't going to touch it. Maybe tonight. You never know. And this is a great one. Mira, thank you. You've got such good advice. I'm going to put this up. Address labels, packing tape, several large priority boxes, and you mailed some of your things home. That's a great idea. You know, we drove, so I can do all this. But if you fly, you may want to do UPS, right? UPS things home.
Some ship from the.
Some ship from the show. Christine's telling me, and it is true. The at the Gem Mall, UPS was there, right? Um, so it was good. So you can just send some that stuff home. I'm glad. That's Candy. We had a lot of fun at our TGB meetup. It was really great. So I may or may not pop in again. Christine and I are going to go to the Desert Museum on a hike tomorrow morning. Right, Christine?
Yeah,
We're
yeah, tickets.
we've got tickets. We're hiking tomorrow, and we're going to go with the birds. Right? We're going to see the bird show.
Well, it's like a separate show, but they do have a live
Oh.
animal show at noon.
A live animal show. Well, yeah.
We'll see what the hell.
We'll see. We'll see. But we're going to do some hiking in the desert. It's going to be really, really awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait to do it. So that's it. I'm going to hit the shower, get some breakfast, price some beads, and hit the road. This afternoon we'll be at Keno. So if you're around, if you're here in town, stop me and say hello. I'd love to see you. So thank you, thank you, thank you for coming on this adventure with me. And I'll see you folks soon. It means so much your support, all of us here at beadshop.com. It
Nice
really.
to meet you.
And Christine says it's nice to meet you all. You never know. Maybe I can get her to be a special guest. She's one heck of a wire wrapper. Let me tell you. All right, folks. Thanks so much for joining me. And I will see you live next week with Emily and tomorrow on a pre-recorded broadcast. Thanks so much, everybody. Talk to you soon.